Hey everyone, welcome to our live chat. I am Heather and we are here for you guys each and every day. Let me put those times up here for you, or actually below. We are here for you guys each and every day, Monday through Thursday. We're here at 8, 10, 12, 2, and 4, Saturday and Fridays, 8 and 10. So we give you every opportunity to jump on in and hear more about Luminous. Of course, our airbrushing, and we go over the basics of airbrushing, from what you get in your kit, how to airbrush, all of that as you see it being done. Obviously, I don't have makeup on right now, and so you will see it start up. You'll see the transformation that happens when we are luminesced. And so let's go over that. This is our starter kit. This is the Icon. This is the Icon. We also have the Icon Pro and the Legend. And then the instructions on the systems are the same across the board. So what I'm telling you for one is the same for all of them. And we give you the 2 bottles of foundation to go along with the makeup. So you can use it. Like, we want you, think of the starter kit as your practice kit. We want you to get in there and use it. So we give you the 2 large bottles, but they're similar in color. They're different just a little bit, but very similar. So you can color match 365 days a year and have that perfect shade match all year round. And I don't know another company that would do that. We also give you a bottle of Love and a bottle of Blush. And the blush is super high pigmented. It's going to bloom, as they say. It will come out a little bit more once it completely dries, like after a few seconds after applying it. And so one thing I always recommend is do the blush first. Doing the blush first, you're able to get it on, and then even if it is a little bit too intense, you're going to airbrush your foundation on over it so it does blend in a little bit better. The stylus blends everything for you. It does all the work. Which is really great. So these are the instructions that we want you to do in the very beginning. So right here, as soon as you get it, we want you to get it out and plug it in. That is the first step. And I know that sounds silly, but as soon as you plug it in and turn it on, there's air that comes out. So when you're moving that stylus around your face and you're feeling that air, know that wherever you feel the air is where the bristles go. And or where the bristles would go. And so that is where the makeup's going to go. And so you literally can think of your airbrush as your makeup brush, because you will feel that air. Now, the one thing you want to practice after you practice moving the stylus around and keeping it 4 fingers away is the pulling back of the trigger. You want to pull back super light on that trigger. Barely let anything come out. And I know that sounds weird because it goes against everything we've been doing up until this point, but you really do want to go super light on that trigger. So hello, Candy. Hey, is it Maya? I'm just going to say Maya. Hello, Linda. Good to see you. Missy from Michigan. I love it. Hey, Patty. Good to see you. Oh, can you please tell me the 15 or the 58 millimeters of liquid blushes? So the airbrush blush only comes in the small bottles, in these 0.25 ounce bottles. It only comes in those because you're seriously only using 2 drops of the blush. That's it. Only 2 drops. And so is it Lazena? Lazena? I think it's Lazena. Lazena. Is that right? All right. I just want to make sure I'm pronouncing it right. I'm like going to have to say it a couple times in my head. But when you're doing the blush, it really is only 2 drops. Our blush is very high pigmented. So a little bit with all of our makeup goes a long way. But with the blush, 2 drops, boop, 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 and that's it. Now, if you need to apply, if you're like, no, Heather, sorry, I'm a blushaholic, give me that blush, then you can apply more, but just do it at a drop at a time. I was going to do the compact blushes, but since there's some questions on the blush, I'm going to switch. so I can apply. And I'll do the plum. I'll do the plum blush. And I'm gonna do the CC concealer as well. All right, so now I'm gonna shake this up. Now I am going to do the CC concealer, and you can see all the, for some reason, I don't know. I mean, my skin feels a little irritated right now, so I'm going to do a mask tonight or treat my skin a little bit. And it might be just from taking off the makeup, 3 times a day. So I have a little bit of redness here. And so I am going to apply the CC concealer. This is our Airbrush concealer. And anything that I apply beforehand, I call pre-coverage. And when you're doing your pre-coverage, you don't have to get it up into that, like cover it 100%. You can cover it about 50%. It doesn't have to be, because I'm still getting more coverage when I put on blush, when I put on my foundation. And so you don't have to worry about covering it 100%. And actually you probably don't, because it might you might be doing too much, and you don't need to do a lot. All right. So Lizzie, I'm a little confused. You want the difference between the size of blush. There's no difference except for the size. So, but the blush does not come in this size bottle. So this is the 2 bottles that you get. So I'm guessing you're talking about the starter kit. The 2 bottles that you get of your foundation are this size, and they are like a shade 3 and 4 or shade 7 and 8. They're similar in color, but they're off a little bit. They complement each other because you can get lighter or darker. So we're giving you the 2 large bottles of foundation. Then we give you this size blush. Now the blush will change depending on what kit. We pick the blush that is perfect for your starter kit. This is the only size blush that we have because it is super pigmented. The other bottle that we give you is Love. And it's in this size, although it's really low. So I have the bigger one, but this one. And this is Love. And that is a hydrating illuminator. So it's very, it gives you some luminosity, but it's not super shiny. So we have here, let me show you real quick. We have 5 different blushes. Here they are right here. We have the soft rose, we have tulip, natural, apricot, and plum. Now I'm going to be using the plum today. And depending again on what kit you received, the fair, medium, tan, warm, or deep, you'll have that blush will match whatever kit is in there. Okay. All right. So I'm now going to do the CC concealer, and this is it is a concealer. It's going to help with this redness. I'm going to put it under my eyes and only put it in this problem area here. So I start my movements, and then I start pulling lightly back on the trigger. And you can, come on, you can already tell a difference. I've already hit this side, haven't hit this side, but it's so light. This is already dry, but I'm barely pulling back on the trigger. Hey, Rebecca, good to see you, my friend. I'm going to put a little bit on my lids as well so I can get, because my lids are a little bit darker, and cover that redness a little bit more. But the CC concealer is going to give you a lot of coverage. Like that's the top of the pre-coverage that you can do. And then next, as far as coverage goes, would be the foundation. Lizanne, I'm a little confused. Our blush you can only get online at luminessebeauty.com. So our blush that the Luminesse blush is only on luminesse.com. So on if you ordered something from Walmart or something different, I'm not sure exactly what you ordered. So I'm a little confused. You can always message me or send me an email. Let me put my email address. And you can always call customer service as well. But if you need to reach out to me, you can reach out to me. Tracy, my name is Heather. I'm going to put my 2 drops of blush in there. Right in there. Now I've already done my pre-coverage, and so now I'm going to do my blush. Now you might be saying, well, you haven't done your foundation yet. Well, this goes back to the fact that our blush is super high pigmented and it will bloom. So it's going to intensify, but start with 2 drops. I start my action. And then you start seeing that blush. Okay, now the blush you're seeing a lot of right now because I did that first. And now I'm going to take my foundation, and today I'm using the Mystic foundation, which is a full coverage foundation. And I'm putting my drops, I'm using shade 3, and I start going in and making my passes. Now I already have my concealer on, so I don't have to go all the way up, but I do like to blend those together. And I keep going. And that is one complete pass. Now already you can tell that it's softened my blush. It's not as bold. And so that's what that I like, and this is how I normally do it, is I do put on the blush first because I do like a softer blush. And if I needed to go in and soften it up even more, I can do that. Because then you can hit those areas that you need extra coverage, or that if I needed to blend it a little bit more, I can go in and do that without having to put this makeup everywhere. The way airbrush makeup goes on, it's like little passes all over your face, or you make little passes all over your face to get the coverage. It's little dots going all over, like little pixels going all over. And so you're just filling that in. You're filling in that space. So that's why when we say it works well with your skin, it works with your skin. Even on days like I'm like, I don't want a lot of coverage. I don't want a lot of stuff. I can just go in and put concealer on. And with how I'm applying it with the airbrush, you won't even see a demarcation line. The way you apply it. So it's pretty amazing because of the fact that when you're putting it on with airbrush, it's not going to have that demarcation line, or you shouldn't have that demarcation line. It goes on flawlessly. I'm going to leave these up because I want you to know the steps when you are airbrushing. I want you to know that I want you to get it out, start playing with it. You can even put water in here, and then start pulling back on the trigger and learn what it feels like through that. You don't even have to use the makeup yet. And then another suggestion I always make is to get a paper towel or a tissue and do it this way. and spray the tissue, because that way with that contrast and actually seeing how it goes on helps you visually understand how airbrushing works. Sometimes it's harder to see that because you're spraying so light that you don't see it go on. It just should be flawless. And so sometimes seeing that makes a difference. Let's see. I ordered CoverGirl blush, not the Luminous blush. Oh, Lizzie, I'm not sure, babe. I'm not sure of what kind of blush you ordered. I would have to see it. In our blush bottles are, it's a 0.25 ounce bottle of blush. And so our blush is 0.25. Tracy asked, do I know Crystal Jones? I do know Crystal Jones. Yeah, and I don't know if she still does that or not. I'm not sure, Tracy. I'm not sure. She used to live in Houston and now she moved away, I believe, or maybe she moved back. I haven't talked to her in a long time. Peggy, thank you. Thank you, Peggy. All right, so now let's go ahead and finish. I'm going to take the Optics palette and I'm going to use the Optics palette has some shimmer. Let's see if you can see that. It does have those some shimmer colors. Gives you some great options on the shimmer. And I'm going to use Mirage and Clarity, and I'm just going to give me a little bit of a shine right in my high cheekbone area. Right there. Now, let's say I did too much. Couple ways to fix it. You can powder this off, which I'm going to grab our compact powder. And powder that. However, if I needed to, if I did it way, way too much, I can airbrush my foundation on over to blend it down. Same way, if I was blending the blush, I could go in and blend the shimmer if I did it too much as well. All right, so I am going to take our compact in Belize, which is the bronzer compact, and I'm going to add a little bit of bronzer, not too much. Let's see. Loretta says, I just received my kit and I haven't used it yet, and I need your advice because Loretta, honey, we all have wrinkles. We all, I mean, come on, we all have wrinkles, right? I mean, if it's not a wrinkle, it's redness, it's sunspots, it's whatever. But I'm telling you, do these things that we say right here. Loretta, you're putting this on different than traditional makeup. So don't, you need to get it out of the box. This is the first step. That's the biggest hump to get over, is getting it out of the box. And when you get it out of the box, you're going to plug it in, turn it on, and just feel the air. That's all we want you to do, is feel the air. Then you can start putting water in it and pulling back on the trigger to release the water. Nothing will be released until you pull back on that trigger. But you're going to follow these steps, but you're not doing it like traditional makeup. So when you're doing this, make sure you keep your hand moving. It's not a race, and you're not just closing your eyes and just going, do-do-do-do-do. We're not doing that. You're covering your forehead, you're pulling back lightly on the trigger. Your moves are very deliberate, but you're not going to stay in one spot too long, or you actually won't hit one spot twice on that first pass. But honey, it takes practice. We're very upfront about this because it does take practice. It does take some getting used to. We have done traditional makeup for so long that that's what we end up thinking about when we're putting on the makeup, and it's not. If you put it on like traditional makeup, it's not doing what it's supposed to do. So make sure you do follow these steps, and you will love it. Love it. I promise. I promise. And come back here so you can learn more about Luminous and see it. We are on 5 times a day. 5 times a day. You can come and join us. On Monday through Thursday, we start at 8 a.m. It's 8, 10, 12, 2, and 4. And we're on Facebook. So make sure, I'm sorry, we're on YouTube. We're on Facebook at the last one of every day. So pick one and you can definitely come back and talk to us. Let's see, I'm a new in Luminous. Previously had no idea about. Well, we would love for you to check out our site at luminousbeauty.com. Let's see. Tracy, I think you're right. I think you're right. I think she did move to Louisiana. I didn't know if she moved back or not. That's the only thing. So, all right. And then I still have my lips from earlier, from the 2 o'clock that has stayed on. And I used the, it's the Sienna Jazz lip stain. And it's our metallic lip stain, which I love. But I can add a little more just to intensify that color. There we go. But these are metallic lip stains, have stain power. They're going to stay through your coffee, through your tea, through lunch. They really will stay on, and they're fun. They're very light. Great colors to finish out the summer, and make sure you get it off your teeth. But they really are great. So, all right, guys, that is it for today. I hope you will come back and see us again. We're on several times a day, and so make sure you do jump on, mainly on YouTube under Luminous, and then Luminous Cosmetics, or Luminous on Facebook as well. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. So if you do see me on this one, especially if you see me talking to people and you're like, I can't see that question, I can see both YouTube and Facebook on the messages. So if you're not seeing what I'm seeing, that's why. So, all right, guys, we will be back tomorrow at 8 a.m. So I hope to see you guys. Thank you so much for joining me, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.